when I have a tour bag and going through my snacks, and like I'm a big snack guy. I mean, I could have 15 different snacks in there.
There's snacks in there right now?
I'm struggling. I got a couple. The top 3 things: man bars. Just a guy named Ben Crane who plays golf. He approved of them. They're pretty healthy. Perfect bars, refrigerated peanut butter bars. They're high in calories, 130 in this little bite, so it's good. And then the right stuff, hydration packets, and some pain meds, just in case 36 whole days, something happens, gotta be strapped. That's it right now, but normally during a tournament, there's sandwiches, different kinds of nuts, tacos, why not? Just throw it all in. Hey Team Titleist, I'm Sherwood. I'm a senior at Vanderbilt. This is my golf bag. I play the Pro V1x golf ball. I actually switched last year. I used to play the Pro V1 because it helped me flight it down, but then I realized it's honestly easier to take spin off than it is to add spin. And so I switched to the X. It goes higher, a little bit more versatility into greens. And the extra spin's really good when we're playing firmer conditions, especially out this week. I heard it's pretty firm. And so it's gonna help me a lot attacking front pins when a little bit more spin, a little bit more height to it. I used to use the train tracks with 3 lines on it, but with the new putter, it sets up so well with my lines that I just do a dot on the Pro V1 and then I do 1 on the Titleist. And so longer putts, I don't wanna be too locked in on my line. I use the dot in the Titleist and I look at it when I putt. But then on shorter putts, I use the line. I look the dot in the middle of it. This is my favorite club in the bag. I got fit for the shaft actually here at TPI, I think 6 or 7 years ago. It's a Speeder 661 TR. I don't think it's made anymore, so just trying to keep it in one piece. Right now I have the TSR3 10 degree head. I've played 10 degree for a while now. I like the spin that it generates and been really happy with this club. So I'm gonna keep this broken grip on until I'm ever struggling and then get a new feel. Going down to my bag, I fluctuate a lot with different clubs depending on conditions. So for example, this week out in Carlsbad, I brought a hybrid and 2 different 3-irons. It just depends on what the course calls for. So I use this hybrid. This is a TSI 3. It generates a lot of spin. And so if I'm playing firm greens that I'm hitting a lot of shots from 230 to 250 into the greens, I like to use this club. But for the most part, I typically play this 3-iron. It just goes pretty far off the tee and it spins quite a bit less than the hybrid. And so when I'm playing a course, I'm hitting a lot of maybe fairway finders or a lot of tee balls with. I like this club because it gets out there pretty far. And I can also hit into greens if I need to. And so I like to have a lot of versatility depending on what the conditions call for. And then now I'm playing the T100 irons. They're really just overall great irons. I can work it both ways, but they're also really forgiving. I played CBs in the past, but I like the new T100s because they look like a CB. They feel like a CB, but they're a little bit more forgiving. And then for wedges, it's a pretty standard setup. I use a 46 degree pitching wedge, a Vokey wedge. I just like the look of it more and helps me flight wedges down compared to a T100 pitching wedge. And then around the greens, I think it's a little bit better to use the bounce on this one. And so I do like that a lot, the versatility that this brings. And then I use a 50 degree 12 F grinds, just a really stable club. I recently switched my setup. I went 52, 56, and 60. But I noticed a bigger gap between my 52 and my 46. So I changed that. So I use a 50 degree now, which goes around 130 yards. And then I added a 55 degree, which goes around 115. So I really bridged that gap between my irons, my 60 degree. And the 55 is a 14F. And so I have a little bit more bounce on this one because whenever we're playing bunkers with a lot of sand, especially out this week, it really cuts through better and comes out more solid than a low bounce club. And then my 60 degree, I have an A+. It's just a very versatile wedge. It's a little bit shaved off in the back compared to an AM grind. And so I can really get under it, but also has enough bounce on full shots that I can generate a lot of spin from the fairway. So it's just an overall really good club you can kind of use anywhere. And then the newest addition to my bag, it's a Scotty Cameron T11.5. And I got it 37 inches, so it's a little bit counterbalance. I've always liked the look of a longer putter. And this is finally one that I like the feel of. So it has that milled face of a nice Scotty Cameron, but also the plumber's neck and the longer shaft. I just kind of feel like it goes to the ball for you. There's not a whole lot to it. And then you can see like all these lines in this main silver shaft that kind of sits really well and lines up well. And so I used to putt with the line, but I don't have to anymore. I can just throw the ball down and then use these back lines to line it up.